All right, we need to multiply and then simplify completely. Now, when we get to this problem, it might be really tempting to just go square root of 10 squared and square root of 3 squared, but that does not work. Why is that? Well, if you remember, when we have a squared, what that means is whatever is inside of these parentheses is multiplied by itself. Okay, you multiply it twice. So really what this equals is the square root of 10 plus the square root of 3 times the square root of 10 plus the square root of 3. There are two of these multiplied. So remember that whenever you have an exponent, that's what it's saying is it's whatever is inside the parentheses multiplied by itself. Now when we write it out like this, hopefully this is making your brain kick in like, oh, this is FOIL, where we multiply first, outer, inside, and last. So another way to think of it is it's kind of like I've got to go square root of 10 multiplied by square root of 10, and then square root of 10 multiplied by square root of 3. And then here square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 10, and square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 3. So we can write that out if we want. Remember when you're multiplying square roots, so if I have square root of 10 times square root of 10, this just equals square root of 10 times 10. So I multiply them under the same square root. Okay, so on that first one, I'd have square root of 10 times 10. The second one, I'd have plus the square root of 10 times 3. The third one, I'd have plus square root of 3 times square root of 10, or square root of 3 times 10. And then on the last one, I'd have square root of 3 times square root of 3, or square root of 3 times 3. So if we simplify these, well, this one, since we know the definition is a number times itself. So if I have 10 times 10, that tells me those are going to come out. And so this really just equals 10. If you want, you could multiply that though. You'd get square root of 100, which would equal 10. On this next one, we'd get square root of 10 times 3, or square root of 30, plus another square root of 30, plus, and again, this works out nice. We have a 3 and a 3. We can do a 2 for 1, just bring the 3 out, and the square root is gone. Now, one thing you might want to do on these middle two terms is while it's factored nicely, you might want to do a quick check and make sure it's not going to break down anymore. We know 10 would go to 2 and 5, and so we can see 2, 5, 3, there aren't going to be any pairs of the same number, and so 30 is going to be simplest form. Okay, now at this point we need to combine like terms. So I've got a 10 and a 3. I can add those together. And we're going to switch gears. When we're multiplying, we put them under the same square root. But when we're adding, we're just saying, okay, I have a square root of 30 here. I can even put a 1 in front of it if that helps. So I have one square root of 30 here. I have another square root of 30. And so total, I have 2 square roots of 30. I can't combine anything else. They're not like terms. And so this will be simplified for this problem.